Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's good to see you all. Today we're talking about superhero movies and why they have a serious problem, and here's why. So let's get into reasons why they have a big problem, these superhero movies. All right, so what I have found in watching the superhero movies, my wife loves these movies, my stepkids love these movies, and they take me to go see all the superhero movies, and we do all the things. It's a family occasion. And one time, I'm sitting through these movies and everything. We see them regularly, and my wife, when we're driving home in the car, she asked me what I thought about the movie. I'm like, well, what do you think? What did you think about the movie? And like, well, it was all right and everything, but they're getting to be really kind of the same old. And she's like, what do you mean by that? And I said, the conflict resolution, like they all end exactly the same, where, they basically fight. They blow up a city, fighting, and, more fight, blow up another city, and then roll credits. That's a superhero movie in a nutshell. Is just fight it out and blow up cities, roll credits. That's it. That's the conflict resolution. I'm like, that's it? That's the conflict resolution? That's how they get over their conflicts that they've been having? Makes no freaking sense. I'm like, what's so cool about that? I'm like, it becomes the same old thing. You're watching the same scene with a different title on it every time, and it's really quite boring, once you see the same thing over and over again. Really boring. And she asked me, like, well, what would you do different? I'm like, well, they're superheroes. They have like all these resources to their disposal and everything. Why can't they have like more creative and intellectual conflict resolution, where, I don't know, maybe they like look into like further into their weaknesses and basically call them out on certain things, or they discover things in their history and they leverage their historical pasts against them to bring them into an understanding that they didn't understand before, so that they don't need to fight, roll credits. Maybe they could do something more on the intellectual, research basis kind of thing, like dig into each other's lives and histories and leverage that information and that knowledge against the other person to be able to win the conflict. That might be more interesting than just, blowing up cities. That's the same thing we've seen in 1,000 different superhero movies. I don't know, that's conflict resolution when it's the exact same conflict resolution amongst every superhero movie out there. Gets really freaking boring. Super predictable. You're sitting there watching, a Deadpool movie, or you're watching, I don't know, an X-Men movie or a whatever movie. They're all the same. They're super predictable. Like, okay, well, they're gonna fight, or fight, or punch, and throw somebody through a building or two and through several walls and fight, and then roll credits. I'm like, it's super predictable, and it's very boring because it is so predictable. So the conflict resolution has got to change. There's a huge problem. Conflict resolution, got to change it. Not only do we have the conflict resolution problem, we also have the fact that it's the superhero movies these days have become more of a quasi New World religion. And what I mean by that is that people basically have discussions and arguments and debates over this backstory versus this backstory, this character versus this character. And they use the terms of that's not canon for that story, or that's not canon for this character, or whatever. And so they use all these terms and things that people use in a religious sense, but they're talking about these superheroes' stories. And for me, that is kind of problematic. I mean, I'm a Christian. I believe in God and everything, and so I'm just like, well, you guys realize that these stories were created by Stan Lee and whoever else writes superhero stories. I don't know, but I know about Stan Lee, so the more you know, right? So I do know that Stan Lee wrote a bunch of stories about superheroes, and he wrote the characters, he wrote the worlds and the universes that they exist in, and so they are purely fictional. But me being your favorite substitute teacher, have sat in many school classes where I've witnessed school students getting in heated debates and arguments over this character versus that character, or this story versus that story, this backstory, that backstory. That doesn't align with the canon of this story or the canon of that story. And so we have all these things that have major religious undertones. I'm like, you guys are speaking about these things as though they're a religion or they're a faith of some sort, but they were written by a man 50 years ago, 75 years ago for Superman. I don't know how many years ago Superman was created, but within the last 100 years, we know these people that wrote these stories. They're no mystery. They're man-made, fabricated stories for our enjoyment, whatever. So, but people take them to the next level and nearly deify these superheroes and deify these stories. And I'm like, that's weird. I don't know. That's really weird. So, but hey, I don't get it. They obviously get it. But I'm sure that they could use the same argument for somebody that believes in God and Jesus Christ. They could be saying, well, you believe in God and Jesus Christ. Those are fictional characters because those stories were written 2,000 years ago or so, and we weren't there to verify whether they were or were not, true or factual or whatever. We just have faith that God and Jesus Christ exist. So, that's a little tangent, but the same arguments that I'm making about these superhero movies and these superhero characters and the way that people have deified them and talk about them in such a way that it seems almost like it's on a religious scale, the same argument can be made against Christianity and people that believe in God or higher powers and things that, well, those are just as fictional as well. You just weren't there. So I don't know, but that's my tangent on that. But I do find it really interesting that people will, debate these fictional characters, and debate Batman versus Spider-Man, or who would win in a fight, this person, that person, or whose universes would align. All these things that people talk about. I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. I don't understand. But that's just part of just my observations in going to superhero movies is I don't understand it. I don't get it. I'm just observing as an outside observer. This is just really weird to observe to me. So I just thought I would get on and speak about it a little bit, what with the new Superman movie coming out. So, go check out that new Superman movie. Go in the comment section below and let me know, was I right? Was it blow buildings up, blow cities up, fight, 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 roll credits? Is that how it ended? I bet you it was. Let me know if I'm wrong in the credits in the credits in the comment section below. Let me know if I was wrong. I would be fascinated to hear about it, but I'm sure that my wife will take me to see the movie at some point here soon as well, because she loves that kind of stuff. But if you like this content, if you think it's slightly entertaining at least, hit the like button, hit the comment section, write your comments, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Help us get to that goal. Also, go to the description box. There's links to the merch that I sell, also links to the books that I sell. Check those out and help support the channel that way. But anyway, that's what I got for you guys today, and I will see you in the next video. Have an awesome day. I guess this goes faster the third time because I didn't have the lav mic on the second time. So